sometimes life just sucks, and sometimes it freaking rocks. We will discuss all the things from family and real estate to travel and just life in general. So take a seat, or don't, you do you, and welcome to the Lambadass Podcast. So I'm so excited for this podcast today because it's summertime and all the kids are off school, and I always feel like I have my kids on all the time. Actually, Jared's going to be coming later today to film. And I told Nicole, I was like, or Nicole had mentioned, hey, the girls mentioned that they would totally come on your podcast. I was like, what? So here I am taking advantage. And literally they only had like 48-hour notice. So that's pretty good. Are you nervous?
Yeah, I'm nervous, but I think it's going to be fun.
It's so fun. And we're just going to have a conversation like it is when I see you guys. Anyways, so I am lucky to work with Nicole, and I consider myself to be a part of her family, whether she likes it or not. So today I have Nicole here with Jules and Sienna. I'm going to go ahead and let you girls introduce yourselves first. So we'll start with Sienna.
Hi, I'm Nicole Segreto, and I'm Nicole's daughter.
Yes. And how old are you?
I'm 15.
No,
16.
No, yep, you're 16.
You're 16. Did you just have a birthday?
No, but my sister did.
Oh, I love that. And what grade are you in, Sienna?
I'm gonna be a junior.
I love it. Are you excited for high school again?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, you're up.
And I'm Juliana, or Jules. I'm 14. I just turned 14, and I'm going to be a freshman. So
Are you excited for high school?
excited and nervous, but I know it's going to be really fun. So.
It is so fun. And like, I'm sure your mom told you, get involved and do all the things. Okay, and how old are you, Nicole? And no, I'm kidding.
I always forget.
I'm 41.
I'm 40.
So
I
you're
will be 43.
43.
And next month I'll be 43. I'm 42 currently. Yes.
True. Oh, speaking of which, we need to plan birthday stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. I'm looking forward to that. So I wanted to have you girls here today for a couple reasons. One, I kind of want to get the dynamic of your family because first of all, y'all are a 3-woman team over here, and that's a lot of estrogen. And in my house, as you girls know, it's all boys. That I was actually thinking today as I was washing my bathing suits, I was like, so random, but my cat like jumped up on the tub, and I was like, good thing she's a girl, because otherwise it would just be full of boys. So as a girl squad, as a girl family, how are the dynamics in your guys' household?
Ooh, that's hard to answer. I feel like it's like something that I never would think about. I guess everyone's always very open, and you can really just show your emotions to everybody and be vulnerable, and you won't feel judged. And it's just like a positive environment to be surrounded by people that you love, especially your sister and your mom. It's like a really big bond. So
Yes. It's like she's like my friends are, but I tell my friends stuff, and I tell her the same exact thing that I tell my friends.
Oh, I love that you guys are all super close, and that's awesome. It's like having a built-in best friend, right? Not just one, but two. That's awesome. Well, I think you guys have the best mom ever, but I want to ask you guys some questions about her. And it's funny because when I was thinking of all the questions, I was like, let me write all these down. And I was like, no, I really wanted the conversation to flow. And so I want to know, the first thing I want to know is, what's the best thing about your mom? Go ahead, Sienna, you can answer first. What's the best thing about your mom?
I mean, there's a lot of great things about her, so that's a little hard to answer.
Oh, I agree. If you had to pick one thing.
I like that our relationship is kind of like Gilmore Girls.
It's kind of like what?
Gilmore Girls.
Gilmore Girls.
Gilmore Girls. Tell me more about that. What about the Gilmore Girls? Because I know, but the people listening, all 6 of them, don't know what that means.
On Friday nights, we usually get pizza. Like during the school year, we'll get pizza on Friday nights. And then we basically do like we just compare our life to like the Gilmore Girls life.
I love it. So you watch the Gilmore Girls together, and then you eat pizza.
What is it about the
And
Gilmore Girls that reminds you of our family?
Like the oh my god,
Is it
grandparents, and then
the grandparents? And then is she married or is she a single mom?
well, she was married, but then she got divorced, so she's a single mom.
Yes.
So you can relate to that and the relationship with her daughter that she has? And what about their relationship reminds you of you and I?
But we joked around with each other. We're like friends. Like worry and Lolayo.
That is so nice because I have to tell you, from my experience with my boys' friends that are girls, like, you know, not everybody has that relationship with their mom. So I love that your mom is very, I was going to ask some questions about what they love about you, and here I am saying what I love about you instead. But I love that she's very, like, intentional with her time with you guys.
Yes.
I love that.
And what also like my goal is because our baking or cooking is putting together a Caesar salad kit.
A Caesar salad kit, that's your baking.
Well, we don't cook a lot in our
always use a microwave.
And so it's glamorized on this show rather than like making you feel ashamed that you're not like putting together as a mom
And
gourmet
so
meals.
Yes.
we put a salad cake together and then we put chicken nuggets in the oven and make a chicken salad.
Okay, it sounds delicious.
And that's like our
And we-
ideal meal, but Sienna makes me feel so good because instead of being like, why doesn't my mom make us food? She's like, we're like Gilmore Girls. I'm like, yes, we are.
I love that. Good. That was the perfect answer, Sienna.
Because her dad is the cook.
chef,
And
yeah.
when we were together, he did all of the cooking, you know, being a firefighter.
Yes.
So,
That's such a good point. They do cook a lot. Okay, so
they get their homemade meals from their dad, and then they get like takeout, semi-made home meals,
Microwavable food.
I love it.
That kind of thing.
Hey, and chicken has protein. As far as I'm concerned, you've got a balanced diet, sis. Good deal. All right, Jules, same question. What's the best thing about your mom?
I think the best thing about my mom is her way with words.
Mm-hmm.
I would say she's very poetic in a way. She's always able to make me feel safe, and just the way that she speaks. So like, I would say calmly yet like independent.
Firm.
I don't know.
Maybe
firm.
like firm
Yes,
and direct.
thank you. Firm. I don't know what I was saying, but
No,
firm,
that was
for sure.
perfect.
It's just very comforting, and I don't know. I can always go to her for things. So
I love that about her too. I always tell her that she's my free therapy. I love that too. Now, here's the deal. It is our job as moms to annoy you. So what's one thing your mom does that annoys you?
You can speak, freely. There's no judgment.
She totally side-eyed you.
sometimes
I already know one in my mind that you've said to me. You can say it.
What is it?
No judgment. You won't hurt my feelings.
I can't even remember what are you gonna say?
What are you thinking?
You've said once to me like, "Okay, Mom, enough with the life lessons."
Oh yeah, I'll be explaining something that happened at school or something I thought was funny, and she'll turn it into this big like story of how like there could be a better income or like there could be outcome.
I know what you meant.
There could be a better outcome. And I don't know, she kind of like ruins my mood all of a sudden. It's kind of like I was having like this fun time, and now I'm sitting here really thinking about it when I really didn't have to.
I love that. That's funny you say that. I've started asking my kids too, do you want me to listen or do you want my advice? And it pisses me off because a lot of times they're like, we just want you to listen. And I'm like, okay. So I have to sit there and listen, and I'm like, but I'm the same way because I will do the same thing with my boys where I'm like, let me tell you about when I was your age. And they don't want to hear it. And I feel like it wasn't that long ago that I was their age.
Yeah.
But
I think it's like there's an opportunity. I try to like jump on every opportunity that I can to like instill wisdom or guidance.
Yep.
And you also say, because we always have a show we're watching. So right now we're watching Parenthood. And many, do you know what I'm going to say?
When I'm like yelling at the TV or
Oh, no. When I pause it and because you're like, I don't like, I'm annoyed with that character or whatever. And I pause and I'm like,
pauses it.
well, like, let's look at their perspective. Like, we didn't see all, like, imagine the other character didn't see all that backstory.
Look, Sienna's getting annoyed that I'm listening to it now.
So we have this character. Okay, we love this character, but they did something shitty. Okay, and Mom's like, wait, no, they're not shitty. They didn't do this. Okay,
Yeah, I'm
this
like,
is
they made a
because
mistake.
this is because they're stressed. I'm like, no, I know they're stressed, but it's still shitty, Mom. They're like, no, it's not. No, it's not.
Your mom sees the good in everybody. I love that that's the thing that annoys them.
They're like, she's like, no, it's not. I'm like, listen, Mom, I'm not saying he's a shitty boy. I'm not saying he did a shitty thing. He's like, no, honey, no, he didn't. I'm like, no, listen, I know he's stressed because he's like a kid and everything, but he did a shitty thing. You have to admit he did a shitty thing. And he's like, okay, but it's a less shitty thing because of this.
It's funny that you say that too, because my mom is very similar in that way too. Like I'll get annoyed with somebody or something, and my mom is like, no, you have to look at it this way. And David, so we're in the pool the other day, and my mom, we were talking about something, I don't remember what, and my mom was saying how, oh, well, you should look at it from this angle. And David goes, you know, she's not going to ever say a bad thing about anything. And I was like, I know. So it's kind of like I get it. It's a catch-22. But you're right. Sometimes people do shitty things, Sienna. You're right. So does the same, just because they're shitty people, not because they're good people. Does the same thing resonate with you as far as something that mom does that annoys you?
I mean, I'm sure there's, but not a lot of annoying things that she does. But again, we all do annoying things. So
for sure. So it happens.
There's some, but sometimes I know this is mostly because of us, but sometimes it's not. Sometimes you'll be like, guys, get in the car. We have 5 minutes and we're on the call. And it 30 minutes goes by and we're like, where's mom?
Oh, no, you do not do that.
Not 30 minutes. That's
or
a little bit
I don't know,
traumatized.
28, Sienna.
Okay, fine, 20 minutes.
Because sometimes
20 minutes and she's all like, okay, get in the car. We're going to be late. And then so we're sitting there for like 10 minutes. And she's not there.
Actually.
And most of the time she'll be like, I had to get your guys' water. But sometimes I'm like, Mom, where are you? She's like, I have to do my makeup. I'm like, why were you rushing us in the car then? She's like, because you guys take long.
Yes, because we don't want to be waiting on you. Okay, my family does the same thing. They'll all be in the car waiting for me. So.
Usually, because when I say,
you don't have to be sorry.
Why are you sorry for saying that?
No, she's being sarcastic. Like, oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm so sorry.
So sorry.
It's because
I'm sorry that I might be a little bit like, I don't want to get out of bed.
Yes.
Because
I
who wants to get out of bed?
It does
on a
take
school
Sienna
day.
a little while to get out of bed, so a lot of times it's like, come on, let's go. And then every once in a while someone will surprise me and they're ready on time and then I'm not, because I give like a long period of time. Like, okay, if I tell her we got to get in the car, it's at least 15 minutes.
Yeah. So also,
that's Connor.
I say like we're like young girls because the mornings are the hottest part of the
them
day
too?
for school day, not for like the summer or the weekend day. So right now it's like pretty good, but for the school day it'd be like hard to wake up. So we're like young girls because they don't like waking up.
I know, because in the beginning they actually are like taking one coffee from the other, right? Like they switch mid brew. I've seen that before.
Actually, I did mix coffee with my hot chocolate one morning.
Did that taste delicious?
I was tired. It actually did taste really good.
That's awesome. I think that would taste really good.
I did like mostly hot, like 6 with hot chocolate and then 4
with coffee. And it was good.
And it was.
Hey, there's a trick for all the high schoolers out there who are exhausted and need to add a little bit to their hot chocolate.
I don't like straight up coffee.
I don't either.
So I mix it with.
I drink tea. I drink tea all the time. Really? Okay, I have another question. If you could have one wish for your mom, what would it be?
I want her to be able to go and travel more, because I know that she's talked about her Europe trip and how amazing and glamorous it was, but I really want her to be able to go like anywhere. Like, she doesn't have to wait a long time before she can go somewhere, because she's always wanted to go to Europe, and she finally did, luckily, but it took forever, right? So I want her to be able to go somewhere like as soon as she wants to. Okay. Like, oh, I want to go to Cabo. She gets to go there. And that's what I really want her to be able to enjoy herself and do the things that she really does want to do in life. So, yeah.
I love that. That makes me
that's
so
my
happy.
Answer.
I think that's the perfect answer. I hope my kids want the same thing for me. Okay. Okay, Sienna, you're up. If you could make one wish for your mama, what would you wish for her? Sky's the limit, girl. That's okay. Sky's the limit.
Well, maybe like for everything has to be perfect.
For everything to be perfect?
But it's not, because it's, maybe a little like non-perfectness beyond then. No, because life isn't perfect if it's like perfect all the time.
That's true.
So
it would be really boring, huh?
It would be.
Then elaborate on that. What's your definition of perfect then? What would you change?
I want it like I like the place we live, so that I want to change that. I like our schedule, but I feel like
What did you say, Jules?
Oh no, she said schedule. So
Oh,
I just said,
schedule. Yes.
yes.
That's okay. That's okay.
Maybe we could change. I mean, I could change this too, but I wish we were a little more like maybe on it. I don't know.
A little more on it.
It's hard for us because we just don't like we stay in, but I like going out.
You like going out?
But like when we go out, I usually wait until like the last 30 minutes and then get ready and be like, oh, oops.
No, you're fine.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
And my mom does
Okay.
this too.
What are you
Yes,
talking
and
about?
she goes,
I
and
get
my
it
mom
from
does
home.
this too, and she gets it from me. So Sienna is autistic, and I have ADHD.
Uh-huh.
So both of us have brains that sometimes don't work in our favor, and it makes it sometimes things overwhelming. And there's something called time blindness that we know we have 30 minutes, but then like somehow we lose track of that, and suddenly we think we have 30 minutes, and we look at the clock, and there's only 5 minutes left. And so, and it sometimes it's hard for us to transition and get motivated for certain tasks. And so when it's hard for her, we talk about how that's hard for me too. And then when I'm very transparent if I'm having like a hard time, like, oh geez, like today, like my brain is not working really well. Like things are a little bit more difficult for me.
Yeah.
And then she'll have compassion for me and she can empathize and she knows what that feels like. So is that what you're referring to?
Yes.
Okay.
I have that too. It's funny. I've been that way the last couple days, and I'm like, I can't kick it. So part of me is like, I need to go to the gym. Like I need to do all these things that I normally do. But I almost always run 5 minutes late to everything. And it sucks because when people are late, I feel like it's a direct correlation of them not caring about my time. But you know what's funny is when people are late, if they're like 5-10 minutes late, I'm very forgiving of that because I know that happens. Like you hit an extra stoplight or, whatever. Sometimes it's just hard to get out the door. But then my children
Oh God.
are very punctual, very punctual. Like Jared, he has to go to work at like 3:45. He will leave the house at 3:00 and we live 10 minutes away.
Juliana is my punctual one
You're
in the
the-
house.
Does it drive
So-
you wild that
Yeah.
nobody else is?
I remember especially like when we were in school, they would both be doing something and we would have like 5 minutes. We'd be like, come on guys, like get your shoes, grab your stuff, like get everything that you need and let's get in the car. And they wouldn't get in the car, which I don't blame them, but it would get me like so stressed out and riled
Anxious.
up almost.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm always trying to get everybody there on time. I guess that's where I'm kind of like my dad because
Yeah.
he's always like, oh, it's better
Yes.
to be early than to be late. But
he's right. Like that's the hard thing. Like from the three of us, like we know that that's right. We know that that's how we're supposed to be. But it's just sometimes I can't kick it either.
Yeah.
yeah.
And actually,
What?
if you're listening to this, Dad, I know because you said you wouldn't listen to this.
Of course.
Love you.
Oh,
But,
I
like,
love him.
We won't be. Sometimes you'll be like, okay, guys, we have to get down at this time. Like that, not gonna even be. This place is not gonna be even open at this time. It's like, no, we have to get there early, guys. Like it's not gonna be open. So what's the point?
I was raised
I don't know,
in a
but we have to get there early, guys. We have to get there early.
I was raised in a family that was always late. My dad was always late, like hours, not even like 5-10 minutes. Like we'd miss
Really?
like a whole wedding ceremony and like get there for the reception. And it was always a joke. And so in my marriage with your dad, that was always like something because he was ex-military. He wants to be, and his dad was like that.
Sure.
And so it drove him crazy when he'd invite my family over and they'd be late because he would have dinner on the table, like on the dot. And, but it's something that I used to really beat myself up about. And now I'm getting better. And I hope that Sienna will feel this way eventually too. Like it's not a character flaw. Like we're trying.
Yeah.
You know? So, but I do have I do feel bad for like when Jules is stressed. I don't want her to stress out. So so she's my motivator because I don't want her to get stressed out. But she's really on it. Like she has cross country practice all summer. She sets her alarm at 5:45, gets her stuff together. She's ready to go. And I really admire that quality in her.
I love that about my kids too, and it's funny because Jared wants to be a firefighter, so it seems like that just goes in line. Carson is the same too. He does not like to be late. Connor, he could not care any less. And Jacob, go ahead.
Don't get me wrong, I don't like being late.
Sure.
But like sometimes I can't.
Yeah, no, it's not even that we like it. You're right, and it's so funny because when I am on time or I am a little early, like I'm so proud of myself, and then I'm like, oh, I'm gonna check an email, and then I'm sitting in the parking lot, and then I'm like 2 minutes late. I'm like, oh my gosh, I was here 10 minutes early. Like, story. Okay, but my sister straight missed a flight one time. Like, straight up missed a flight. And she was like, the traffic was bad. And because I'm that sister, I went online and I was like, girlfriend, I know the traffic was not any different than how it normally is. So I called BS. And so I went online and I looked. Anyways, they missed their flight. It was freaking horrible. But yes, I don't like it either.
Actually, my mom would drop me off early at school. Yeah. And I walk my friends to class. I'm like, oh, I have like 3 minutes because that's how long it usually take me. Right. And then I'm like walking there. And they're like, I was like, okay, get to your class. I'm like, yeah, I know, I'm walking to my class right now. And then the bell will ring. And I look at the time like, how did 3 minutes turn into 1? Like, I just walked my friends to class and now, like, because like, if I rush there, I'll be there in 3 minutes. I usually, like, I would drop my friends off. I have 3 minutes. I fast walk there. But sometimes, I'll drop my friends off, and then, we would be talking, and all of a sudden I'll be caught in a conversation, and I'm like, yeah, let me just look at the time, and it's like, 8:29. I'm like, oh, I need to get to my class. I need to get to class. I need to get to.
But obviously, you're not the only one like that because you're sitting there talking to other people. So clearly, this is like amongst more than just you. So at least you're in good company.
That the thing is, I walked my friends to class, so they were like in no class. Oh, so I did like run to my class. I'm like, oh shoot.
Oh, I love it. Okay, I have another question. Do you girls ever want your mom to get remarried? Am I allowed to ask that?
I'm fine with answering the question.
Okay. Are you fine with it, Mom?
Yeah, of course. Okay. But I thank you for your consideration.
Yes. Yeah. And that was a broad question to all of you. I want to make sure you all want to answer.
I mean, it would
wait,
nice.
Hold on. Jules was going to let her go. And then
Jules can go first. But it was your birthday, so you can go first.
It was your birthday, so you can go first.
I get the birthday pass.
That's right.
Exactly.
I think it's up to her. If she gets remarried, I want her to make sure it's the right person. Because I don't want her to have to go through a divorce again and just, not that I'm saying that like you would if you married someone, but if it were to ever happen again, I really want her to make sure that she's very happy. But I honestly feel that decision is up to her, and whatever happens, I will be supportive.
Yes.
If she remarries or not. So that's
okay.
And I think, I mean, I like our life right now, but I mean, it would be nice, to be at her wedding.
Oh, yes, it would be nice. I will be there too. Ideally.
It would be nice to have like a guy figure in the house, but not saying that our life here right now would be better with him now, because it wouldn't.
Sure. Okay. No, you want somebody who's going to add to your guys' life.
Exactly.
I get that, and fit and mesh with you girls.
It would be nice, but just like any good change, it would be nice to have my mom find someone that she wants to marry.
Oh, I love that. If you girls could take your mom anywhere in the world, where would you take her and why? Go, Sienna.
The Gilmore Girls set. The Gilmore Girls set.
The Gilmore Girls set. Where's that at?
I think it's at Warner Brothers.
That's
it was filmed there, but it was it is at Warner Brothers. I don't know if the set is still up since it had been a while since filming. But then there's like a town that inspired it. I forget. I've seen on Instagram. It's somewhere back east, like in Connecticut or something.
Oh, so would you want to take her to the Connecticut, or you want to take her where it was filmed?
Both.
Okay.
Maybe.
Okay. What about you, Jules? Where would you take mom if you could take her anywhere in the world?
I don't know. That's a really hard question because there's so many different places. I mean, one place that I've been to but my mom didn't go to was Japan. I went there for a school trip.
I know you did. I was so glad that you brought this up because I wanted to know all the things. Did you have the best time ever?
Oh my God, it was so fun. It's beautiful, so clean, and just we went when the blossoms were like the flowers were blossoming.
Yes. They have
blossoms.
the cherry blossoms.
And we went in the spring, so they were all like blooming, and it was beautiful.
How was the flight?
Long. It was long. I was seated next to some random people that I didn't know, so it kind of made it uncomfortable. But
Sure.
And on the way back, there was like a slight bit of turbulence that made the plane drop. So that was scary.
Yeah.
But I mean, overall, the plane ride was fine. But I mean, the hotels were so nice. The views, just everything in general, and the food. Oh my gosh, the food was so good.
What did you eat there? Because I've heard like their noodles and stuff are amazing.
So we went to Tokyo Tower,
Mm-hmm.
and I actually got to eat inside of there. So we got ramen and stuff, which I'm not the biggest fan of ramen, but the ramen there was like amazing,
Delicious.
excellent. And then I got a lot of street food. I got to try tanghulu for the first time, which is like strawberry with sugar around it.
Yeah, it's like
melted
crispy.
sugar.
Yes.
Yeah, it was really, really good. But lots of ice cream for sure. They have really good ice cream there, and lots of convenience store food as well. Because I don't know, that was something I was really looking forward to, which is kind of weird because it's like convenience store compared to like authentic. But
Yes.
I was just really excited for that, and I did have a lot of it. So
I love that. So you gotta go to Japan.
I would love to go to Japan.
I would love to go to Japan too. Connor actually wants to go when he graduates. So, okay, cool. So now that you guys have answered that about your mom, I'm actually going to reverse the roles, and I'm going to ask you to tell your daughters the best things about them. What's the best things about Jules, and what's the best thing about Sienna?
God, just the thought of it's already making me well.
Oh, no.
Okay.
she cries a lot.
I know, but she wears her heart on her sleeve, and I feel like you guys telling her how amazing and wonderful she is like the best podcast for today. So it just makes me really happy for you.
I would say the best thing about Sienna is that she is full of light and joy, and she has like not even the slightest bit of jealousy or ego. And
That's a lie.
no, it's
I get jealous.
You get
sometimes.
jealous.
and
But-
she's just like wherever she goes, she just kind of lights up the world, and she's very pure at heart, and very caring and empathetic, and she wants to make people happy when they're sad. Like when Jules is having a rough day, she'll go upstairs and get stuffed animals for her, or get our dog and put our dog on Jules so that makes Jules happy.
Yes.
She wants to make people happy. And Jules, we kind of joke that she's, we had seen this like random Instagram thing based on like how old you were when you had your kid and the date which you had it. And it came up that based on that, Jules is like my guardian angel. And so I shared that with her, and it's very, Jules is mature, like beyond her years, and she's always been like that, and she's very brave, and she's very bold, and she fights for what is right.
Good.
And she's very true to herself, and she just, whatever she wants, she tries it, and she's not scared, and like the world is her oyster. And I joke as like she knows a second language, and she travels, and she wants to study abroad and do all these things. It's like, when I grow up, I want to be you.
Oh, I love that. Your girls are the best part of you and their dad. That's what it comes down to. If you had one wish for them, we're not going to do annoying. You don't annoy your mother ever. I know, because I'm parent of teenagers, so I know she would never have anything. But I want to know, if you had one wish for them and only one wish, what would you wish for them? Would it be the same wish, or would you have different wishes for each of them?
I think it would be the same. I just want them to be happy. But that's so cliche. So it's not even happiness, because I think I just want them to reach whatever their individual potential is and what they are meant to do here. Mm-hmm. And I want them to have contentment and joy and feel like they have purpose on this planet.
I love that answer. The contentment part was huge, because I feel like in life sometimes we sit here and we strive for this goal and then we make it, and then it's like, now what do I want? Now what do I want? And I was having a talk with Kay, my real estate coach, and I'm like, Kay, sometimes I don't want more. Sometimes this is enough. And she smiled real big and she goes, that's the goal. That's the goal, is to get to where this is enough. And then the next week I'm like, okay, now I need more. So I bounce back and forth between those two. So I think that's a happy medium for me, because if you're content for too long, then things start to slip and slide, right? A little bit. But yeah, I love that. What were you going to chime in and say, Miss Sienna?
Actually, I was going to say, my mom is wearing some earrings that we picked out together.
I actually really love them. They're
yes.
so pretty.
That's an activity we like to do, is go shopping, but we're bargain shoppers. And so we get sales, we do thrift shopping, and we always, Jules just went shopping last week, and she couldn't wait to show me her haul. And the thing that she was most excited about were the deals she got. And so that's a big thing in our family, is making most of our money in bargain shopping, I guess.
No, if you see my boys out there, let me know, because my boys love thrift shopping. It's like a thing for them. Shopping. It's like a thing for them. They love it. And I'm like, where did this shirt come from? Connor's like, I got it at the thrift store. I'm like, this is freaking rad. Like, he's like, it was only, guess how much? Guess how much? And I'm like, $5. And he's like, $3.50. I'm like, okay.
$3.50.
Exactly. And then if you could take your girls anywhere in the world, where would you take them and why? And would it be the same place or a different place? Because you could totally do 2 separate trips.
Well, I just told them that when they graduate high school, I want to take them on a girls' trip wherever they want to go. So Sienna graduates in 2 years, and the last I heard, she wanted to go to the Netherlands, which I don't even know where this came from, because you saw it in one of your classes, and there are a lot of dogs there, and it looked pretty. That was how you came across that one, right? Okay.
And they have a lot of bikes there too. I've been to the Netherlands. It's beautiful, and they have windmills, like active windmills that act as dikes for the water to keep the water out of the cities. So you'll have to go and tour all of that. Okay, and I like that. You know, we do that with our kids.
Yes.
Okay.
And then with Jules, I don't know if you've decided where you want to go. I mean, she has 4 years to think about it.
But those 4 years are going to go by in a snap, sister.
I know. That's so nerve-wracking to have to think about.
I know.
But I really want to go to Greece. I've never been. So I don't know. I think it's so pretty.
It's beautiful, but I will tell you, what you see on Instagram is very enhanced.
Yeah.
I thought that I was going to see like the blue roofs and the white buildings all over the place. And it's funny, I thought Santorini was going to be my favorite. My favorite was actually Mykonos. So fun things. Is there anything, girls, that you would like to add or that you want your mom to know? If nothing else, before we cut this and put this to bed, anything that you guys can think of that you would want to tell your mom?
We love you.
Yeah, we love you.
I love that. Girls, thank you so much for coming on today. This was so much fun, and I would love to bring you back and talk about your high school experiences, because I feel like there's so much out there that we could discuss and stuff. So if you guys are up for it, and Mom, okay, perfect. I'll work it out with Mom, and we'll bring you guys back. So thanks for letting me borrow your girls.
Thank you for having us.
Of course. You
Thank
girls are
you.
lovely. You're welcome.